A Bubba and Trump sitting in the tree. KISSING. Yeah. First came head, then came tails. Head and tails, baby. Head and tails. Yes, indeed. He got that mouth work and he got the hip work. Yeah. His milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. Bubba, let's listen.
Start my day.
Yeah, we gotta hear this.
Company,
yeah, my voice is gone. I had a day today.
1.
But
we
listen.
set all of our stones by hand so it sits just right. 2. We pay attention to every little detail. It would reduce Ukraine's military.
Hold on. Putin. Mr. Three Dog. What? Now, all you. Mr. Dog. Mr. Hot Dog. You need some attention. Your name got a dog in it. Yeah. Now, I'm finna get you up out of here. You done popped out here. My like didn't go up. And you talking noise. Now all you crooks can go. What you mean? I don't like you over here. And you didn't double tap the screen and hit my like button. It still ain't went up. It didn't go up. Go out and come. Okay, now you did. Now you did. Stop playing with us. Listen, I got my good eye on you. I hope you ain't trolling. But listen, Putin, let's see. Putin name, go down. Yeah. You know, Donica Lewinsky went down. Yeah, he went down. Oh, you talking about the likes. No, they went up. It went up. It went up. Oh, I thought you was talking about Donald Trump went down on Bill Clinton. When you
Trump strong-arming Ukraine's
strong arm. There go that strong arm, that strong hand. Let me get this volume up. We gotta hear this. He got that. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's listen. Cause Putin's name came up with the picture of Trump and Bubba, you know, blowing, licking, sticking, you know. Yeah. Moaning and groaning and shit. And now all of a sudden, too much tea. It's hot, but it's hot, Brenda. Yeah. And so now Putin is like, Putin like, start like testing. Okay. Yeah, Putin like T.I. Yeah. You can have whatever you like. Yeah. Yeah. Now all of a sudden he getting what he want. What that happened?
Accepting a so-called peace deal that, well, is pretty much what Putin's been asking for all the way along.
He'll have to like it, and if he doesn't like it, then, you know, they should just keep fighting, I guess. At some point, he's going to have to accept something. You know, he hasn't accepted. You remember right in the Oval Office not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards.
We actually just played that moment a few minutes ago, didn't we? Zelensky says Trump's plan comes down to, quote, either the loss of dignity or...
Not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards. You know, he hasn't accepted. You remember right in the Oval Office not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards.
We actually just played that moment a few minutes ago, didn't we? Zelensky says Trump's plan comes down to
So
either
yeah, it wasn't too long ago that Putin was mad at him. Putin was threatening war. I mean, because he found out that Trump, yeah, was making deals behind they deal with Ukraine with that a Black Hawk helicopter, and he said, "Oh, so you making a deal for them to shoot us down?" And I thought we had some. See, this is why I don't like you, Tramita. You know, every time I try to up with you, you try to do some sneaky shit. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, he can have whatever he like. Yeah, no Black Hawk, Tomahawk, whatever. You know, yeah. So you don't have it. So listen, what do you want from me? I mean, can I have those pictures back? What, a month and a half ago? I showed y'all Qatar, them people with the red and white scarves on their head and shit. And a little old fat roly-poly man walked up to Trump, wouldn't let his hand go when he was shaking his hand. He was trying to take his hand back, and the man wouldn't let it go. And then he showed him that some paper, some pictures, and Trump was trying to grab it with the bad hand and couldn't catch the paper. He couldn't catch the paper, and then they started laughing at him. Yeah, because he showed him some uncompromising photos. I wonder, was it a picture of his head going down, 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 down? Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's signing over permission for them to, I mean, he didn't say shit about a tariff that day, did he? I mean, although that would have been a tax, but at that time, he was trying to act like he was in tariff. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. Yeah, no, but you let him come over to Idaho and he can build a whole Air Force base to funnel kids and shit. Gold, silver, guns, and drugs. Every time somebody come up with something on you, showing pictures of you doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing, all of a sudden they get a sweet, hard deal from you. Now Putin getting what he couldn't get before. Not before, before. Shit, let me find a picture. Let me find a picture. Shit. Ha!
A few minutes ago, Zelensky said Trump's plan comes down to, quote, either the loss
Everybody
of
get it.
dignity
Everybody
or
get
the risk
some.
of losing
You get a house. You get a house.
comes down to, quote, either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key.
Not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards.
We actually just played that moment a few minutes ago, didn't we?
Hey,
Zelensky said
Starlight.
Trump's plan comes down to, quote, either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key partner. Stark way to put it. Trump giving Ukraine 6 days to respond. But here are some of the concessions Ukraine must make. And as I said, these are things Putin's been asking for. All the way along, they would give Putin Crimea. It would give Putin all of Ukraine's Donbass region, even though Russia does not control it. It would reduce Ukraine's military to 600,000 personnel, which is a cut of hundreds of thousands of troops, which of course would completely make them unable to fight Russia again. And it would bar...
So he want troops.
Which of course has been...
So how in the hell can Trump negotiate troops? Are he doing too much?
Would bar Ukraine from joining NATO, which of course has been Putin's goal also. These have been non-starters for Zelensky for years and for Ukraine. In 2023, when I interviewed Zelensky in Odessa, make them unable to fight Russia again, and it would bar Ukraine from joining NATO, which of course has been 600,000 personnel, which is a cut of hundreds of thousands of troops, which of course would completely make them unable to fight Russia again, and it would bar Ukraine from joining NATO, which of course has been Putin's goal also. These have been non-starters for Zelensky for years.
This is some crazy shit.
2023, when I interviewed Zelensky in Odessa, he told me then that the war could not end with Russia even controlling Crimea, which is something, of course, Trump has made a core of this deal.
Your team doesn't waste time.
Trump needs to go
because
sit down.
they
He
don't
doing
have
too
time to
much.
waste. They're spending every spare moment they have on notes.
To be clear, in victory, in peace.
Is there any scenario where Crimea is not part of Ukraine?
It's inevitable.
It will not be victory then.
As for Putin, in addition to getting all of the things I listed, Putin would come back into the G8.
Oh, he
He says
denounced,
Ukraine is now
Brenda.
facing one of the most difficult moments in his history.
He denounced.
Putin, of course, is thrilled
denounced
with this, and the plan
pro-Israel.
could, quote, serve as the basis for a final peace settlement. Jim Sciutto is out front with breaking news because, Jim, I know you've been speaking with officials in the United States as well as Europe. I mean, I thought it was important just to mention that G8 point at the end. Like, on top of all of that, Russia is welcomed with open arms back to the core of the international community. And you are getting some very strong reactions to all of this hour, I know.
Aaron, I can say without exaggeration that my phone was lighting up today with reaction from Ukraine to Europe to here in Washington, frankly, to this plan with one consistent description of it, that it would amount to a Ukrainian surrender. And keep in mind, and you know this well, that when Ukrainians say this is not just political talk, right? This is existential to them. They're talking about the survival of their country as an independent state.
So
One
Trump is
Ukrainian
pretty
military
much
commander
making.
said this to me. He said
He
Trump
don't.
is stubbornly pushing Ukraine into capitulation and also humiliating Europeans. The whole idea looks naive and I spoke to
Stupid.
a Ukrainian member of parliament, Helena Yanchenko, and I think quite deliberately she used some colorful language describing her reaction to Eve. And
Trump is stubbornly. He crazy. He didn't take his medicine. He is crazy. Pushing Ukraine into capitulation, humiliation, European, the whole idea, naive, and so other words, Trump is stupid. There is no, I mean, he is slow. He's stupid. And why do they need him to negotiate for him? What? Yeah, Lord, come on. And I don't even know where to go from here. Let's go.
I spoke to a Ukrainian member of parliament, Helena Yanchenko, and I think quite deliberately she used some colorful language describing her reaction to this peace proposal as described. She said, it's like they are pissing on your boots and telling you it's raining. She went on to say to me, that, listen, this would be forcing my country, Ukraine, to its knees. What was interesting to me in particular, though, Aaron, was that criticism extended across the Atlantic to here in Washington and among both Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
You heard the Republican chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee say this was unacceptable, and Brian Fitzpatrick, Republican member of Congress from Pennsylvania, he said this Russian-drafted propaganda, that's how he's describing President Trump's peace proposal, must be rejected and disregarded for the unserious nonsense this is. And, you know, this is important, Aaron, because
Corruption, absolutely.
Discharge position
And crossing lines, he shouldn't even be.
Allow Congress to vote on a new punishing sanctions package for Russia, in effect, over President Trump's support. And it's notable because we did see this happen now on the Epstein files, right? You had Republicans defy their president. So the question now, is that criticism from Republicans of this peace proposal strong enough that they force through legislation to increase the pressure on Russia as opposed to what we're seeing now, which is pressure on Ukraine?
Yeah, and to put all of those things in it, giving all that territory to Putin as well.
Yep.
All right, Jim Sciutto, thank you very much. I want to go now to Bridget Brink. She's former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine under Biden, as well as part of Trump's second term, now running for Congress in Michigan as a Democrat. Ambassador, I really appreciate your time. You know, just hearing what Jim Sciutto is reporting about Brian Fitzpatrick specifically, the Republican congressman, calls this proposal unserious nonsense and says it reads like Russian drafted propaganda. Pretty stunning words to describe it, and to come, of course, from unelected Republican congressmen. Is this how you see it?
That's Aaron. Thank you so much for having me on. That's exactly how I see it as well. I believe that this so-called peace plan is really a capitulation by Ukraine, and it fulfills Putin's wish list. You went over some of the points. There are 28 of them, but I would just highlight three. One is that Ukraine is required to cede territory that Russia could not take in 4 years of fighting. Two, it basically reduces the Ukrainian military to the point where it would be, and the country would be weak and vulnerable. And third, it requires no NATO enlargement. That applies to Ukraine, but even more broadly. So it essentially delivers Putin a clear strategic victory. It's unthinkable for Ukraine, and it is not in our national security interests. Appeasement never works to end war. It didn't work in 1938, and it's not going to work today.
It is incredible after all of the back and forth, right? And the failed summit, and then Trump talking tough, and then this is what gets put on paper. I mean, I think after all of that, it is still somewhat stunning, Ambassador. And Zelensky insinuated in what I played that if he doesn't accept this deal, right, that the choice is either Ukraine or lose American support, right? That was a very explicit choice. Trump was asked about that in the Oval Office earlier, and he didn't address it directly. He certainly didn't deny it. So what do you think is happening here? And what message does it send Putin that this would be put out there in the way it did? No NATO enlargement of any sort. All the land
Putin
that
got
he has
pictures
wanted
of
in
him
Ukraine,
on that
he's back in
head.
the G8. What does Putin get from this?
And what do Trump get from this?
Facing a lawsuit from debt collectors?
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is Epstein sent it to Putin. Epstein sent the pictures to Putin. So Putin get whatever he wants. Cause per Mark Epstein, his brother Jeffrey sent it to Putin. And whether he knew it before in the emails, he know it now. I'm talking about Trump. He know it now.
It's everything that he wants. And maybe I'll say just the message I think we should be sending is that America does not bow to dictators. It's just not who we are.
How beautiful
what we
me.
need to do is fight for freedom and democracy at home and abroad. And the reason that I resigned from my position and spoke out and am running for Congress is because we cannot be an America that is undermining our own democracy, stripping people of their health care, and destabilizing our own economy. Or even, as of yesterday, having our head of state actually threaten members of Congress who have also served our country.
Right.
So this is why I'm here, and this is why I'm running. We need to stand up, and we need to speak out, and we need to be the America that supports our foundational values.
And you are speaking out. Some of the others we've heard speaking out. I mean, I talk about Brian Fitzpatrick. There are others. But one of the strongest things was actually said from one of the top officials in Estonia, which has a lot at stake at this, right, when it comes to Putin and his territorial ambitions. Marco Mickelson said, if Ukraine accepts this, there will be no Ukraine anymore. If Europe accepts this, we must prepare for a direct war with Russia, which are stunning words in the context of what we have now heard out of senior French officials more than once in the past 6 months, which is that the French people should be prepared for the possibility that French children will die fighting a war with Russia. Do you think this is a reality?
I think this proposed plan will not end the war. It will only lay the groundwork for future war. And so it is a danger to Ukraine, to Europe, and to us, because if Ukraine is taken and more pressure is put on other NATOs, including other allies, including NATO allies, that also brings the United States directly into this war.
Absolutely.
It is a disaster from start to finish. We need to remember who we are. We need to stand for our values. That includes freedom and democracy at home and abroad.
That's right. Okay, let's get back to where we were. Let's get back to where we were. Let's hear what they saying about. How do I feel about the message going out that he loves you? Ain't that a song? Ain't that a he loves me? Da, 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 da.
Why would you buy your health
Is
and
this
wellness
the
products
one?
from a company
Ain't
that
that a
doesn't
Jill
specialize in health and wellness?
Scott song?
Silly.
He
When you buy from
loves me.
And Donald Trump's name's all over it. There's
Let's get back
nothing
here.
untoward in terms of anything he did, but his name's all over it. And there are so many other names because he was a social butterfly.
Right.
He's
and
still
so some of those names Donald Trump
making
has said,
excuses for.
his name is off the board. That's already been resolved. There are a bunch of names that have been resolved already. Bill
has not
Clinton,
been resolved.
Donald Trump.
Fidel Castro.
He was not on the resolved list.
But
he could have been in the betting, but
he's in it.
he is not among the names on the Polymarket betting site. These are the current odds as we're doing this right now. It is shifting because people are betting money. Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister, 65%.
That's weird.
People believe that his name will appear.
That's weird.
David Koch, 62%. David Copperfield, Ellen DeGeneres, Tom Hanks. Again, these are just people guessing whose names will be mentioned.
Are they
Alec
taking
Baldwin,
bets?
Tony Blair, Stephen Hawking at 36%.
They taking bets, y'all.
Chuck Schumer, Jamie Dimon. You'd expect
Hold
that they're
on.
going to be,
They taking
or
bets.
that's already been resolved. There are a bunch of names that have been resolved already. Bill
Stop
Clinton,
lying.
Donald Trump. But
Fidel Castro.
he was not on the resolved list.
But
He could have been in the betting, but
he's in it.
he is not among the names on the Polymarket betting site. These are the current odds as we're doing this right now.
They are
It is shifting
taking
because people
bets.
are betting money.
Whose name is
Ehud
going
Barak,
to
the
be.
former Israeli prime minister, 65%.
That's weird.
Now,
believe
now
that
do
he
y'all
is-
remember when Harvey Levin said that there was not a list? That he had reliable sources telling him that there is not a list. I mean, there's not a list. He's such a little man. He's such a wuss. He's such. He is propaganda.
His name will appear.
That's weird.
David Koch, 62%. David Copperfield,
Tom Hanks.
Ellen DeGeneres, Tom Hanks. Again, these are just people guessing whose names will be mentioned. Alec Baldwin, Tony Blair, Stephen Hawking at 36%, Chuck Schumer, Jamie Dimon. You'd expect that there are going to be some politicians.
Stephen Hawking. What happened to that man? What happened to him? Yeah, he was on there. Michael Jackson. What happened to this man? Him. What he gonna do? How you gonna be a freak? How are you a freak? How dare you be messing with minors?
Schumer, Jamie Dimon. You'd expect that there are going to be some politicians that people put in here. Henry Kissinger
He was a player
is at
back in the day.
32%.
Back in the day.
And Michael Jackson at 30%.
And Michael Jackson may have known Jeffrey Epstein because, we're talking 2000.
About the same age,
Yeah.
roughly. I think it's roughly possible.
Yeah, certainly possible.
Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper.
At some page,
Again, this is what people are
But
guessing.
these are people who
We have
probably
no-
socialized.
Right,
Again,
exactly.
they went to
That's
parties
what I
in
think
New
the
York.
bets are based on.
And
Yeah,
Jeffrey
people
Epstein
have done-
loved to fraternize with wealthy
With
people.
famous
He
people.
paid his way into these giant lavish parties.
And he was also a huge name dropper. We
Yes.
know that. So even if he didn't actually know these people, even if he didn't interact with them, he might have
I gotta say,
said
if I was
something about
if I was a
being at
betting
party
man, I
with
would just
them.
bet across. They're all going to be in there. You're going to lose some, but I think you're going to win more than you
Well,
lose.
but the question is,
because he just
they're
named
not,
them.
they're not just mentioning people that he ever knew. They've got to mention them in some context. So the question is,
The people who show up,
Tell what I wish
they're not going
he
to say,
showed
hey,
a
Epstein
bit.
knew the following people.
No, but we know there's going to be a lot of emails from Epstein to people about these people. So, like, even if it's, I saw Barack Obama on television today, does that get Obama into the betting
I don't
pool?
know.
If so,
Yes, it does.
you can look at my emails.
All
it's
it
gonna be
says
emails
is that
about
the
Barack Obama.
names have to come out when, as long as the names are mentioned. Right now, by the way, those are the odds, but you can also look on this site at the volume, like what are people betting heavily on, which people, for some reason.
17%. Boy, he got to be on there more than 17%. Did he? Dirty Diana Combs.
Reason, Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, and Stephen Hawking are the three people that are getting the most volume of bets right now.
That's really interesting. Stephen Hawking, huh?
Wow.
Well,
Who knew?
no, but there was Jackson and Stephen Hawking are the three people that are getting the most volume.
So,
Yes, it does.
you can look at my emails.
All
it's
it
gonna be
says
emails
is that
about
the
Barack Obama.
names have to come out when, as long as the names are mentioned. Right now, by the way, those are the odds, but you can also look on this site at the volume, like what are people betting heavily on, which people. For some reason, Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, and Stephen Hawking are the three people that are getting the most volume of bets right now.
That's really interesting. Stephen Hawking, huh?
Yeah. Well,
What in the world? What in the world? What is that? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well,
Who knew?
no, but there was, you know,
Are those rumors out there? Okay, I didn't know.
Not untoward, but just that.
But they knew
He
it.
he can't go to.
Got it, right.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
no,
he
I
gonna
heard
have to go to jail
Good
too.
on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
No shade.
But again, I got to tell you, my spidey senses are. we're
Channel
not gonna see
14.
these files.
Thank you, Stephen
that
Hopkins.
Donald Trump did this whole thing.
Oh, he passed
about,
away?
I'm starting
Oh.
a new investigation so we can
Oh,
somehow.
I'm sorry. My condolences. I am so sorry. Thank you, Channel 14. Oh, okay. Stephen Hawkins died. I hope he didn't do anything to minors. Rest in peace. This man had a lot of. He was just horrible. He was horrible.
Block the release of this.
And
because
remember-
he's not doing it to protect the people he mentioned, because those are the people he dislikes the most. So there's something more he's planning.
But both houses of Congress have not passed this legislation.
I know.
And the president's going to sign it.
and the
so-
president signed it.
He signed it, so.
But let me ask a question. The DOJ gets, and this is what they're doing right now, they get to decide what they're going to redact.
Exactly.
Or withhold. Or withhold. Do they redact, let's say that it is a completely innocent mention of whomever, say Tom Hanks.
So whomever matters.
Would they
I don't
redact
think they
that
can
person?
withhold whatever they want to
Just
withhold.
because they didn't do anything? Because, I don't
They
know.
can't
They
withhold
have so
whatever
much
they want to
discretion.
withhold.
And
Harvey
would they
Levin
say,
makes me
Trump
sick.
is mentioned here, but it's really unfair. Would they redact that person's name? Just because they didn't do anything? Because, I don't know. They have so much discretion.
How do you?
And would they-
No, they do not. I thought that was the reason why he was pissed, because that guy was supposed to come in and veto it. Harvey, oh my God. No.
They say Trump is mentioned here, but it's really unfair, so we'll redact.
No, I don't want to hear that, because you put it got fake propaganda. And I know you are, and you know you are. So let's get to this love affair. I mean, whatever. Let's hear it. Let's hear what it. Why are you reassuring a man that he loves you? He loves you.
Don't buy luxury perfume until
He
he's
loves
tried it.
you.
I was not prepared for how
He
good this
loves
smells. If you
you.
haven't heard about Ocha
Weren't
yet,
you married?
his second term.
That's why your wife had a problem and she couldn't peel you away. You couldn't choose your wife over. I know you was playing with them kids and stuff too, but why are they reassuring a man that he loves you? Who does that? He loves you. He has a bunch of kids apparently fathered after he became wheelchair bound. Not all of his body quit working. Oh, he had an accident. Oh, wow. I'm with you, Brian. He act like he on there. He look like he done aged 20, 30 years. But let's hear this. Let's hear this.
But first, in what could be the biggest 180 of his second term, US President Donald Trump has signed legislation allowing the US Justice Department to release the Epstein files. Posting on Truth Social, the president wrote, "I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files. At my direction, the Department of Justice has already turned over close to 50,000 pages of documents to Congress. Do not forget, the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they ever even speak about him." The House voted earlier this week to release the files by a margin of 421 to 1, the one holdout being Republican Clay Higgins. He said he doesn't support the release because this bill reveals and injures thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people who provided alibis, family members, etc. But it was a move celebrated by many victim survivors. The Senate then voted unanimously in favor of the bill.
So we're going to have a moment of silence, but I think we should just have a moment of celebration.
For decades, these survivors have fought tirelessly. Today, we are closer than ever.
Now, the new Epstein Files Transparency Act directs the department to release all unclassified materials related to pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and his partner and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, within 30 days.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
But this has been an issue that's caused something of a rift in Trump's MAGA base. Many MAGA supporters have been calling for the files to be released for some time. Trump has long resisted, despite saying there would be nothing personally incriminating. The worst fallout was with Trump's one-time close ally, Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene.